Good morning, my lawn and garden friends. Welcome back to a cold and wet day here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. We are back out at a property which you may recognize. I put a video up of this channel of doing a autumn maintenance video on this property. If you missed it, go back and check it out, or I'll leave the link up in the description and you can go and click on that to check that video out. But anyway, we are back here for doing a garden makeover or renovation. Let me take you through the garden. I'll quickly show you what we're working with. We're going to be pulling everything out and replacing it with new plants and pebbles. The only one request from the client was that we had bee-friendly plants. The client is a big bee lover and they really want to help the bees move forward by providing a lot of nice flowers for them to jump into and grab the pollen out of. So that was the only request from the client, was to have bee-friendly plants. So, but anyway, I'll take you for a quick walk through the garden. You'll see what we're working with, and then we'll get stuck into renovating it. My friends, so there's a decent bit of rain coming through Brisbane at the moment. I just checked the forecast and looks like it's hanging in. So what I'm going to do today, because it's raining, I have a spare lawn grub powder in the back of the ute, I think, from another job way back. So I'm just going to sprinkle that powder over the current soil. I've removed out all the soil I want to. We'll put the powder out for the grub killer and let the rain just water that in through the soil. The rain's hanging around for a while like I saw on the radar, so that'll just settle into the soil and kill off any remaining grubs that I may have missed. So yeah, that's just a tip there. Even if you think you've dug them all out, it doesn't hurt to go through and put a lawn grub killer down. It comes either like a hose-on pack that you can click onto your hose and just spray it on, or you can get it in a powder form where you sprinkle it out and then water it in. They both do the same thing. So yeah, I highly recommend doing that, even if you come across one or two, just to hit it with some grub killer, just to make sure, again, you don't want to spend all that money putting in your new plants, or my client certainly doesn't want to put in all that money on new plants and then just to have them die off from the grubs enjoying a nice fresh feed. So, all right, my friends, day 2, we're out here. Couldn't come back yesterday, unfortunately, because the rain just did not let up at all. Hung around all day, but I'm not going to complain because we need some rain here in Brisbane. It's been a while since we've had some, but today, completely different story. Blue sky, sunshine, absolutely cracker of a day. Anyway, so I've come back to put in some fresh soil now. Now I've gone with this premium garden mix, as you can see here. Look, if you are replacing soil and putting, new soil in, don't go with the cheap stuff. Make sure you get the premium stuff that's full of all the nutrients and matter that the new plants will need. Now, when talking about garden soil particularly, now you should be choosing the garden soil based on the plants you plan on putting in the garden bed. Now, the plants I'm putting in here, they just only require a premium garden general mix. They don't require like a high compost amount or anything like that at all. They just need the premium garden soil, and that's all they need. So yeah, make sure you choose your garden soil based on the plants you're actually choosing to put in the garden. So yeah, but anyway, so we're gonna get this soil in today, and then I'm gonna move on to another job. I've got like a multitude of jobs going all at once in the way of garden renovations, etc. So I just get bits in, and that. So yeah, we'll get this soil in today. We'll probably get the edging in today as well, and then I've got to move on to another job the other half of the day, and that and a bit of mowing to do as well. So yeah, so that's what we'll get done today. Let's get into it. If you've got any soil questions, put it in the comments below and I'll help you out and get back to you. If not, let's crack on, get this new fresh soil in. When it comes to putting soil in the garden beds, make sure you put in more than what you actually need. By what I mean is always fill it up a bit higher than the edge that you want it to become level with, because when you install new garden soil, after removing existing soil, etc., or even when you're planting a new plant in a pot plant, that's why it's really important to push the soil down, because over time, it's fresh soil, it needs to settle in. And that's why commonly you'll see over time garden beds just start to sink, especially if they're brand new. It's because there's fresh soil in there. And this is really common on new build homes that I see all the time. I've done a multitude of jobs with brand new built houses that have had brand new gardens built. Elevated ones especially, they sink even more because they're raised garden beds. So there's more air, they're raised up, so there's more height for them to sink. But yeah, more common in new builds because, everything is brand new. The soil is brand new. It hasn't had time to settle in yet and sink in. So make sure when you're doing a new garden bed, put a bit more soil than what the level you want it to go, because over time, that'll quickly sink in once you start to water it. But yeah, just a little tip there as well. Now, you can't really do that with pot plants. You can't overfill them or they just fall out of the pot plant. But what you need to do there is just make sure you compress like 1/2 to 3/4 of your potting mix into the pot. Don't just pour it in there up to the top and then plant your plant, because all that soil is going to settle down. Your plant's just going to sink right down in the pot. So yeah, make sure you do that, and that'll keep your levels up high. And then of course remove the mulch, top them up over time when they need it. All right, let's keep going. everybody, it's planting time now. So as you can see in front of me, these are the varieties I've decided to go with for this particular garden bed. Now this first one is called MAKEOVER Cocktail. You may have seen this one before, but absolutely fantastic plant for these sort of conditions, and a beautiful purple flower to go along with it. Doesn't grow too tall, normally to around the 30 to 40 centimeter mark. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. The other one I've decided to go with is the lavender. Always a popular choice for good reason. Now this one's the lavender Spanish pink, I think it's called. So yeah, gone with that one today as well. Now why I've particularly chosen these varieties is because they were bee loving plants. Bees absolutely love lavender, any variety, and they absolutely love the MAKEOVER as well, but also both really hardy plants. And then on my left, you can see this one's known as cordyline. Now why I've gone with cordylines, I've got them for the raised garden bed here, and that's because if you haven't seen the autumn maintenance video I did not too long ago on this property, go and watch it. But down this side of the house inside runs cordylines as well, so I've just continued that all the way through to match inside of the property. So yeah, beautiful cordylines, also really hardy, really low maintenance. They'll just get some dead leaves on the bottom, and all you have to do is just pick them off or pick them up. Really simple, hardy plants, and they look lovely, you know, in any garden bed. So yeah, they're going in the raised garden bed. So that's it. If you've got any questions regarding any of the plant varieties you see, make sure you put them in the comments below. But anyway, let's get into planting. These are what's known as power pellets from Plant Doctor. They are absolutely awesome. Fantastic organic food for your plants. Just sprinkle a bunch around the plant. Make sure you give it a good water in, and you've given your plants a good feed. Make sure if you want to purchase some of these or anything on the Plant Doctor website, make sure you use MOTIME 10 at checkout, and that'll get you 10% off any products on their website. But definitely get yourself a bag of this. This is the 4.5 kilo bag. Absolutely awesome for your plants and gardens. So yeah, remember MOTIME 10 at checkout. Enjoy. Alright, so plants are now in, as you'd have seen. Now I like to always give them a water before I put my weed matting down. Now I'm going to give them a liquid feed as always. When I've planted new plants, I give them a bit of a kick along in making sure they get comfortable in their new environment, and I do that by using this product called Seaweed Secrets from Plant Doctor. So yeah, a little bit of this in a 9-litre watering can, and give your plants a good drink with them, and that'll get them kicking along and thriving as fast as possible. But yeah, like I mentioned before, make sure you use MOTIME 10 at the checkout on the Plant Doctor website, and you'll get 10% off your bottle of Seaweed Secrets. But this is a must to have if you're a home gardener, if you're a contractor. This is definitely a product to have in your arsenal to help your lawns and gardens along. But anyway, let's water them in and move on to weed matting. So the rock we're using today is 10 to 50 mil sandstone. So yeah, that's it, what's being used today and what's going down, so you'll be able to see the finish on that. But yeah, when you say 10 to 50 mil, it just means the rock sizes or the pebble sizes. There's a 10 mil pebble size as the lowest, and obviously there's a 50 mil as the biggest, as you can see here. But yeah, this is sandstone pebble. I really like the color and the finish of this look. But yeah, that's what I'm using today, in case you were wondering. All right, let's spread it out and get this finished up. All right, my friends, we are all finished up at this little garden renovation. I hope you enjoyed it and found, a few helpful tips out of it. And I hope it gave you some encouragement to get out in your garden and do a renovation like you just saw, or, trim some bushes, attend to your herb garden, give your plants a liquid or a slow release feed, give them some mulch, lots of things to do in the winter time. But anyway, if you have any questions regarding anything you see in the video, put in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Like I mentioned earlier, if you missed the the maintenance I did on this property, you can go back on the channel, it's a couple of videos back, and you can enjoy a hedge and a mow trim on this property. Behind me you can see these beautiful black stingless bees that are hovering, and you might see them flying around me. So they're going to be super happy about the new plants in on the front, and they can go jump into the flowers and enjoy them to their heart's content. But yeah, so tiny little bees, black bees you can see behind me, and like I said, they are stingless, so they're absolutely fantastic for families or for kids or anything like that. But anyway, it is another cracker of a day here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. I've finished up here and now need to move on to the next job. But as always, I hope you are all staying well mentally and physically. If you're struggling mentally, get out in the garden, because it can be a game changer on your mental health. Just to plant some plants, do some trimming, etc. It is fantastic. But anyway, make sure you hit the subscribe button to help Mo Time out, and make sure you click like on the videos that you enjoy. But yeah, as always, have a great day. We'll see you legends in the next video.